Hello and welcome to the corner. Thank you for joining me this evening. I am going to try to keep up with the comments today. Still a work in progress for me, but I'm going to try. All right, we have been having wonderful discussions about loving yourself. Well, first loving God, loving yourself, and then loving other people. We are also going to be talking about codependency. We are going to be talking about anxiety, ways to manage these. We are also going to be talking about wellness and self-care. These are going to be webinars. There are also going to be support groups that are upcoming. And I think the last time that I said this, you guys, I said the times wrong, and I apologize for that. And I think I said that tonight it was going to be at 6:30, but it's at 6, obviously. But if you have the link, facebook.com/Coach K Korner /live, then you can always be able to get back to the page and stay abreast with what we're talking about. So you guys have been sending me in great questions. I appreciate it. Please continue to send me in more questions because that helps me know what it is you want me to talk to you about. I have more ideas, of course, but I want to be very responsive to the things that you need and the information that you need from me. So please don't hesitate to, please do not hesitate to talk and share because that's what I'm here for. So again, I'm trying to operate technology, so work with me because I'm still a little new. I had a question last time, which is very good, and I think it came from some of my younger audience, which is fine, but it was a good question. And it said, why do guys start caring after you stop? That is an interesting question, isn't it? And if you have had that happen to you, raise your hand. Everybody can raise their hand, right? So a lot of reasons and a lot of things to say about answering that question. Why do guys start caring after you stop? That's a good question. The simple, easy nuts and bolts to that question is they aren't the right guy. Okay. That's a simple answer to that question. They aren't the right guy. So the other thing that I want you to remember is that some guys who are genuinely mature, and not interested in playing games, they will respond accordingly when you demonstrate an interest in them. So don't give up on all guys. Some guys are mature. They do possess an emotional intelligence. They do know how to respond when you respond to them, when you make your interest known. However, some guys just aren't the right guy. Some guys take you for granted, meaning they take your attention for granted. They take what you've been doing for them for granted. They take your passiveness for granted, and you've accepted their passiveness and you've accepted their lack of inattention. Some guys are simply selfish, and they don't realize a good thing until after it's gone. And a lot of times after it's gone, they see you're interested in somebody else or somebody else is interested in you. Men have a competitive nature about them. And so now, I want it back. It was mine, but now, somehow I want it back. Sometimes guys are just really inconsiderate and inconsistent and immature, and they want to do their own thing. They say they want to be in a relationship, but they're not ready or willing to do what's required for them to be in a relationship with you. That does not mean you lower your standards to be in a relationship with anybody, right? it means that if they want to be in a relationship with you, they need to raise their standards, right? So sometimes they're inconsiderate, they're selfish. Either way, no matter how it goes, you have a voice. You have a voice, and you always have a voice. So even if you decide to leave, that's fine. You can leave. You have a choice to leave. Nobody's making you stay. But I do want you to practice using your voice, having a conversation with that individual about what happened, what it is you need, what it is you expected, what went wrong. Give them a chance to hear what they have to say. Doesn't mean that you have to agree with what they said. Doesn't mean that it's right or that it's fair, but you want to begin to use your voice. Your voice has power. Your words, your voice is to be respected and honored. So you use it, okay? You use it. Even if you're going to walk away, you use it. So I would encourage a discussion, even when there's no obligation to stay, with someone who demonstrates that they are immature, or that they are self-absorbed, or that they're selfish. No obligation to stay, but I want you to know you have an obligation to yourself to use your voice. Okay. So with that being said, I kind of had a similar question come in, and just like you may wonder why do guys start caring after you stop? You might say, well, how do you know that a guy even cares at all? Well, those are some pretty good questions. How do you know if a guy really cares at all? That's a good question. And you need to know that before you start expending a lot of energy in that relationship, right? There are probably some things that you want to look for before you start expending a lot of energy into that relationship. For example, does this person, is he able to patiently listen and demonstrate empathy when you are talking? Is he patient with you? Do you feel safe to express how you feel, or do you feel like you're rushed, like you're on a time clock to get out what it is you have to say because you don't want to irritate them, or they appear irritated? That's a flag. It's a flag. Again, we're talking about how do you know that they care, okay? And let's not get caring confused with I'm in love with you and I'm ready to be married. Because remember, as we talked about last time, there are steps and stages for that. Right now, we're talking about how do you know if a guy genuinely cares, if he's genuinely interested. So number one, he's able to be patient with you, he listens, and he's able to demonstrate empathy, okay? Number two, your happiness is a priority. I can't remember what movie it was, guys, tell you the truth, but I do remember seeing a movie and the gentleman said something to this same effect, that said, your happiness is a priority. I think in the movie he said, everything that happens to you is a priority for me. That's a very strong statement, but it's one to look out for. Is your happiness, your well-being a priority for this individual? Something to think about. Another thing to think about is this person able to surprise you on special days? Do they acknowledge special days? So I'm not just talking about birthdays or, if you're married, a wedding anniversary. I'm talking about this person has an understanding of your world. They have taken the time to invest themselves in understanding how you perceive your world and what's important to you in it. So not just birthdays, but is this what does it mean for you if this is your first day at a new job? What does it mean for you if it's the last day for you at a job? What does it mean for you if your cohort at work changes? If you get a promotion at work and there's a new cohort? What does it mean to you if you have fallen in love with a new friend, as in a new girlfriend? You know, you do fall in love with your girlfriends. Do they recognize that? Are you talking about that? What does that feel like? To know that you are actually investing and spending time in building those healthy relationships. Maybe it's your friend's birthday. Maybe it's an important girls' trip that's coming up. Do they have an idea of how important that girls' trip is to you? So that's what I mean by acknowledging special days for you. Okay, so not just the typical days, but special days. Now, if you hear some little tinkling in the background, my little dog, his name is Tuxedo. He's in here with me, and I did not lock him out to do this live event because he tends to whine. So he's sitting here on the floor looking at me like he thinks we're about to do something. But if you hear that noise, I apologize for any distractions, but that's what that is. All right, number 4. So acknowledging special days for you. He has an understanding of what your life is like, and he can acknowledge those days for you. All right, is this person able to provide explanations for his behavior when asked? Meaning explanations that make sense, and he has to own a mistake. He has to own that he's disappointed you. He has to own that he's hurt you. He's had to own that he has not lived up to an expectation. Is he able to do that? That is a sign of maturity. Doesn't mean that you have to write them off, depending on what we're talking about, but it is a sign of maturity when a person can own their mistakes, and he can apologize for them. He can own them, apologize, and he can address them, meaning he can tell you how he plans to go forward and fix said situation. Okay. Now this next one is kind of tricky, and I don't want you to get confused by it, but what I'm trying to say is that your man pays attention to when other people are paying attention to you, specifically men. What this does not mean is that he's paying attention to other men paying attention to you and he goes psycho. That is not the Lord. I'm talking about that slight, hand in the middle of your back, maybe a reach for your hand, maybe a reach to put their arm lightly around your waist, that says, you're with me, I'm with you, I'm proud of you, I'm proud of us, I'm enjoying this moment together. I am not talking about what feels like control or possessiveness. That is not what I'm talking about. But it is nice to know that a person, that your spouse, mate, boyfriend is aware that other people are paying attention. That's what I'm trying to say. He desires to spend time with you. I think I've said this before. You should not be begging anybody, not begging anybody to spend time with you. Someone who is truly interested in you and they possess all of these other characteristics is not somebody that you should feel you are begging to spend time with you. They should want to spend time with you, right? They should see it as an honor, a treat to be able to spend time with you, okay? He is truly happy for your successes and can be present with you in your failures. Now, this requires some emotional maturity as well, because sometimes people don't know what to do with difficult feelings. And oftentimes, it's nothing that you really want them to do with difficult feelings, but be there with you in them. Okay. After my father passed, very difficult time. I was very much a daddy's girl. And I learned how to tell my husband that I was having a daddy moment. And when I would say I'm having a daddy moment, he learned what that meant. He would ask me if I needed anything, but most of the time, especially later on, he was just present with me in that moment, and he would let me ride the wave of those feelings and just be there. And because the wave will pass, right? The feeling will pass, and that's all I really needed. I just needed him to be present with me in that moment. So just like you need people to be present in the good times, it's also in your successes and the happiness and the achievements. You know, life is life, and it's not always going to go your way. It's not always going to be fair. So it's important that you know that you have somebody who knows how to be able to support you, even when life doesn't feel very good. Okay, which goes very well with the next one. You know, this is somebody who's your friend. You can talk to them. You can be transparent with them. You can be vulnerable with them. You can say the good, the bad, the ugly. You don't feel like you're going to be judged. You don't feel like you're going to be ridiculed. And most importantly, you don't feel like this is going to be thrown back in your face later. Okay? That is so not fair. That is so out of the rule book. In having an argument where people use your words against you. Okay, so that's totally off lines. This is another one that I think about too. Somebody who's truly interested in getting to know you, they are also going to be really curious and eager to know about your hobbies and your interests. In my world of therapy, I call that love mapping. Love mapping is you having a picture, you having a perspective of your partner's world. Okay, those things that are important to them. Okay, so those happinesses, those the things that make you happy, the successes, the failures, the important friends, but it's being able to go and be vulnerable, transparent, naked, and talk without any type of fear, without getting any kind of critical spirit back, but you have the freedom to be who you are. Another one is he's able to let you know that you are important to him and doesn't appear to take you for granted. He seems comfortable around your friends and family. That's important. Let me check my time for a second. He is comfortable around your friends and family because he's secure in who he is. Okay. People who are controlling, people who don't like going around your friends, family, tend to have some type of security issue. Okay. But people who are insecure also tend to be controlling, and those types of people will hurt you. So you want to look out for that. You want to be careful with that. He likes you for who you are. You can be yourself. We talked about that. He also provides compliments, ladies. Isn't it nice to get compliments? And he doesn't just provide compliments when you're dating. Okay, he provides compliments all the time. When you wake up in the morning and you have your head wrap on, or maybe you haven't brushed your teeth yet, he can still look at you and say, you know what? I am married to the most beautifulest woman on the face of the planet, right? Okay, so not just when you're dating, but also throughout the relationship, okay? He demonstrates that your safety is important to him. So he tries to protect you. Your safety is important. This is big, ladies. Your safety is important. This is your safety emotionally. This is your safety physically. This is your safety financially. So emotionally, spiritually, physically, financially, he's not pimping you for money. Let me just break it on down. Okay, he's not pimping you for money. He's not hurting you physically. He's not making you do things you don't want to do. He's not physically hurting you, restraining you, hitting you, scratching you, biting you, poking you with toothpicks. He's not doing any of that. His non-verbal body language is not aggressive with you. Okay. He makes a point to be sure that you feel safe in all areas with him. Spiritually, he's a leader. He helps build your faith. He doesn't cause you to question his faith. Okay. He helps you build your faith. Together, you guys should be iron sharpens iron. Okay. You two should be working together to help build each other's faith. Okay. He's not afraid to discuss the future with you, get your opinion or ask about your opinion about making decisions. He demonstrates that he trusts you and respects your personal space. So he's not calling you all day, wondering where you are, harassing you about where you are, what you got on, where you been. He doesn't do that. He trusts you. He trusts you to have your own time. He trusts you to have your personal space. This is a biggie. And I'm going to try to fit it in. Let me check my time. At 6:25, that says 6:29. So I'm going to hurry up. Listen, ladies, he introduces you to his friends and family. Hello, this is important. Are you listening? I knew of a person who dated a man for a year, maybe over a year. This person had not met their family. His family had not come to his home. Ladies, come on. Come on now. That's not dating. I don't know what you want to call that. That's called, you just being passive and you allowing yourself to give out your goodies when they want your goodies. But why? Answer this question. Why would a man be involved with you and he hasn't brought you around his family? He has not brought you around his friends, and you have not been to his home in months, in a year? That's a flag. That's a flag. That is a flag. That's so many flags in one. We'd have to spend a whole nother Facebook time on just talking about that by itself. Don't do that to yourself. Don't do that to yourself. Okay. So very important to see how a man integrates you into their life, their church, their work friends, their social friends, their family. That's important. If you're important to him, he's going to want to integrate you into those things. Okay. That also helps you build trust with him. So this person is also trustworthy. It also demonstrates a commitment to the relationship. Okay. So we didn't get to all of the questions today, but I did want to give you a few more pointers on what healthy relationships kind of look like, what they should feel like for sure. Feel free to ask me more questions. You can give me some more comments here. I'd be happy to respond to them. I will be talking to you guys again on Wednesday at 7 in the morning. Today was Monday at 6. I said that wrong last week. I apologize for that. But please come back and meet me in the corner Wednesday morning at 7 o'clock. Okay, I will talk to you then. You guys be safe, stay blessed, and I will talk to you then. Bye-bye.